Hey, what's going on, guys? Just out here watching the sun, rise here in the New York City landscape. They did a wonderful job creating the architecture and everything in this game. It's really enjoyable. But what we're here for is the Hunter's Faith set. Um, I've tried playing snipers in various forms. I had a DPS sniper, he was fun. I had a tactician sniper, was fun and more powerful than my DPS sniper. And with the introduction of the Hunter's Faith, I've got the advantage of actually combining those two into one single character, and I'll go over that right now. What we're looking at is something that currently really couldn't have been done. Like before, you've always had to have quite a bit of toughness. Without stamina and health and armor mitigation, you'd just be killed too quickly by things. But with the introduction of the Hunter's Faith stuff, it's given us an option to run a build like this that I haven't really seen anyone talk about. No one's really mentioned anything about the Hunter's Faith yet. So I think this could be a really fun, exciting build to potentially bring some snipers out into the game. Right now, there's other games out there. The one that I play a lot of besides this, or have been playing a lot of, is Destiny. I enjoy sniping in that game. I almost feel personally that sniping has taken over that game to the point where it hinders my enjoyment of the game a lot of times. I hope that never happens with the Division. I don't think it will, because it requires a little more skill to use sniping in here and be able to survive and things. But we'll have to see as, over time they make changes. But one of the things we're going to look at, as you can see, I'm running with 2968 firearms, which gives me a pretty nice DPS. I'm also running with 2607 electronics, and I got a little bit of skill power coming from equipment that we can take a look at here shortly. But it's giving me 40k skill power. So with most things maxing out, around 42 to 46k, it allows me to have almost full powered pulse and smart cover to use, which really helps support this build in multiple ways. Looking at the weapons first up, currently running with an AUG A3 Para XS. AUG A3 Para is my new favorite SMG. I've used the other AUGs before, but for some reason this just seems more with more precision. It just seems like a very solid, there's not much spread to the bullets. It's a very predictable, reliable, usable weapon. I'm using it with skilled. You could run this build without using skilled probably, and just use a different signature, and it would still be successful and fine. But one of the beauties about this build is if you can find the equipment with your weapons to get skilled, you can get that signature back. And the way this is set up, I use Tactical Link, and I can get my signature back usually in about 6 headshots on NPCs, or headshot kills on NPCs, which allows me to use my signature for pretty much every battle, and often sometimes even twice in a battle, which is just a lot of fun. So on this, I'm getting that signature. Just in case anybody doesn't know, skilled, the way it works is, so you're out, it's like you use your signature, you're waiting for it to come back, it's on cooldown. Anytime you headshot kill an enemy and you have the skilled town on that weapon, for this particular weapon, I'm going to get 11.5% of my cooldown, basically taken away or added, depending on how you want to look at it, towards getting my signature back so I can use it again. To me, it's one of the most powerful talents, because it brings access back to my signature, which alone is powerful, and then in a group, in the DZ and stuff, becomes really, really powerful. Self-preserved is something that I really like. It would be beautiful if I would have got this baked in, at the slot right below this, so I didn't require the stamina, because this character isn't going to get that stamina unlocked anytime soon, probably never. So that one will just sit there for now. The other thing on here is Fierce, which I like. It's baked in, which is nice. It's giving me 8.5% crit hit chance. I just recently watched a video where someone was discussing the vicious talent and how to maximize its use. And, you know, going forward, I may try to bring that in different ways. As you can see, currently I'm running this with rate of fire magazine and you know, an extended mag. This isn't my main character. This is my fourth character. So he's kind of getting the hand-me-downs of the hand-me-downs of the hand-me-downs. So you can see his scope at the moment. Optimal range, I guess that's okay, but I'd rather have crit hit chance there. He's running with the purple muzzle mod. The stability and the crit hit damage, I like both those, that's fine. I wish it was obviously like a level 31 or 32 high end, you'd get significant more potential out of it. Still with this setup, even with these items, I can get 200k headshots on elites with this weapon. So it's got a lot of potential to grow. The underbarrel, stability and accurate, I run that on a lot of my things unless I'm doing something specific. Custom M44, it's only at a 182, but it's one of the best ones I've found so far. It has a lot of room to grow. The headshot damage could be a lot higher. You know, the damage could be higher. But it's got brutal, which to me is pretty much a must-have on a sniper, especially an M44. Because it's not really about, for me, it's not really about necessarily how many times I can hit the enemy, but when I hit them, I want to make sure it counts. You know, I realistically want to only be hitting them once, twice, maybe 3 times to kill pretty much any of the enemies I'm up against. So this really helps out a lot. A lot of people like using the M1A. I would say it's a very versatile sniper rifle. It potentially comes close to the damage output of an M44, but it doesn't give me the same satisfaction that I get from this. This just reminds me of actually like a pure real sniper. You know, it's one bullet, one shot, one kill type stuff. I got luckily and got skilled on this again. This is my only character that can run skilled because all my other ones have to have a lot of stamina. So I'm glad that I kept these weapons, and this allows this character, anything I kill basically is resetting my signature, which allows me to constantly be using it to get a very high DPS. I mean, I could use it for defensive purposes as well, but it's just more enjoyable to use it unless I'm in the DZ where I might be jumped and potentially need to use Survivor Link. It happened to roll with Toxic. Toxic is not one of my favorite talents. It's fun. It's nice to blind enemies. It doesn't really help very much in PvP. I don't really like it because when I hit something with Toxic, it starts waving its head all around. And for me, sniping, especially at a distance, it's pretty unpredictable, and it's harder for me to hit his head to finish him off. So it's not that beneficial for me. You know, so I'd much rather have Deadly, or I don't know, maybe Prepared, or I'm sure there's some other ones, but that's just what it is right now. We'll go over the mods. This is how I like to mod my M44s. I'm not worried about having a whole bunch of ammo, but as I said, I want to make sure when I hit something, I know I hit it. I'd like to have a 15x scope on this. He's still rocking hand-me-downs, so he's only got the headshot and the crit hit chance, which is nice, but eventually I'll get 15x scope on him. He's running with the horizontal stability and crit hit damage. The crit hit damage is nice. Horizontal stability, questionable whether that's really necessary. I wouldn't really... I may take a little bit of accuracy just to get my bloom a little quicker, you know, to shrink down a little quicker when I quickscope. But overall, you know, it's fine for now. Skill Up posted about the importance of having initial bullet stability on an M44. I appreciate that information. I now run it on here. because an M44 is pretty much always being shot within the bloom all the way back because the rate of fire is so slow. So initial bullet stability is pretty much always active, you know, on an M44. The horizontal stability, I could have, like, one of those two, either the muzzle or the underbarrel, would probably benefit from just a little bit of accuracy, just to see if it's going to speed up the quick scope, which I'll go over the quick scope. And the quick scoping is one of the ways that allows this build to be used in any sniper rifle build to be powerful. I don't know how many people out there are aware of it. Luckily, a friend of mine kind of figured it out and was talking to me about it. You know, we got messing around, and once you learn about it, you know, if you didn't know about it, it'll be game changing as far as how much more efficient it makes you with a sniper rifle or an SMG, you know, or any type of weapon for that matter. But I think that's it for weapons. With this character, you know, I'll go over the gear in just a moment. You know, with his primary weapon, he's running with almost 30% critical hit chance. Once I pop my signature, that'll go up to almost 60%. Crit hit damage is going to jump, I think, by about 70%, and then you get your headshot damage. So it's pretty significant. I love damage to elites. Like I said, it's what allows you to, for me, I believe it's what allows you to get some really big numbers. I love to one-shot, you know, especially elites. It's very satisfying for me to see an elite out there, you know, everybody's shooting at it, and just plop, it's gone. You know, it's dead. You know, you didn't even know until it was dead. Enemy armor, I'd like to get some more of this. You know, enemies typically are not threats once their armor is gone. So getting that armor off is really important. Health on kill, I just had to roll this recently on my gloves. The one thing I was finding with this build is the only health other than medkits was coming from my smart cover recharger. So I'd have to spend a lot of my time hiding behind cover. And it wasn't working out like I was hoping. It just wasn't quite reaching the full potential of what I thought it could do. So I've switched over to getting this little bit of health on kill, which I'm hoping will allow me to be a little more productive and stay active. Skill power, you know, 40k. Most of our skills at the moment cap around, I think, 42 to 46k. So this is having almost max pulse, almost max smart cover, which I love doing, especially with a sniper. Toughness, 70k. Most people would laugh if they even heard you say something like that. But like I've said, with this character, I've done the incursion. I've ran with groups all the way up through DZ6, no problem. You know, I'll die from time to time, but no more than really anyone else in my group. The main thing is being aware of your environment, the situation, setting yourself up in good positions, you know, and keeping some distance between you and the enemy. You want to make sure you get your armor from the Hunter's Faith bonus. Max health, again, you know, 31k, people would laugh, but surprisingly, it can be pretty efficient. With the Hunter's Faith armor up, I still don't get one shot by snipers and such, but once that goes down, you know that I need to be careful until I can get it back up. 55% armor mitigation, it's okay for now. I'm not super happy with it, but until it stops becoming productive, you know, it'll stay. 16% protection from elites, I believe, is very important going forward with the way they got the game set up now. Damage mitigation in any form you can get it is really important. That means the exotic damage. This character doesn't have it because I don't plan to be that close to anything. But protection from elites, it's just another way to take off some of that real high damage that these enemies are putting out. You know, bleed resistance, these are just random things. I'd rather have, you know, maybe some shock resistance or burn resistance, but that's just where it's at the moment. None of these are really that relevant. You know, the kill XP is just fun for ranking up in the DZ faster. Scavenging, Small benefit when it comes to opening division tech at the lower levels and stuff, or out in the free world, you know, not in the dark zone. Overall, it's, you know, not really that productive. Alright, let's go over individual pieces of armor. Right now, running with the Hunter's Faith chest piece with electronics. Like I said, the damage to elites, protection from elites, I really like. Ammo capacity, I always appreciate having large amounts of ammo. I have the backpack, you know, I have Lone Star pieces. If you know, if you're into doing that and you like to do that, that's fine. I kind of like playing within the rules and setting myself up with what's potentially possible under the challenges. It's currently rolled with skill attributes. Support stage healing does nothing for me. You know, eventually if I can find better pieces that would give me benefits to my pulls, benefits to my smart cover, you know, I'll be really excited to get that. Right now in this piece, I'm running electronics with skill power in the mod. Over here on the face mask, running with Sentry's Call face mask. Like it's currently running with skill power, running with electronics. Support station healing speed makes me think I should probably throw down a support station at some point. But again, it's not really what I want on here, it just happens to be what's on here. Minor attributes, again, I'd have to look to see what's potentially, you know, could roll there. I don't know if it's kill XP, probably. Or if it was enemy armor damage, I'd like to get it, but I'm not sure if that one's potential for there. On this one, I'm running with armor and smart cover deployment range, just kind of playing around with some of the performance mods. When I run with a group, I want to try to position the smart cover so it still gets me and has the greatest chance of getting the most of my allies as possible. I could potentially switch that out for electronics and armor and gain just a little more skill power up to almost 42k. Right now I'm just kind of playing with this for fun. Sentry's Call knee pads. Currently at 214, running with firearms. Crit hit damage, I like having that on there. Protection from elites, to me, is really valuable. Increased kill XP, fine. Enemy armor damage, I like it whenever I can get it. Sticky bomb explosion radius, something that I haven't talked about. One, I would gladly switch this out for some type of pulse or smart cover. But one of the valuable things about this build is I can instantly turn into a max sticky bomb user. You know, I have access to every single skill at any moment that I desire, and all of them with almost max, you know, potency. So, not getting bored with this build, or if we start getting attacked in PvP, you know, I can snipe from a distance, I can launch stickies as I'm running away to try to slow them down, stop them, or kill them. You know, I can support my team in various ways. It's really a fun build. It's probably my most enjoyable build I'm currently playing. We'll go to backpack. Hunter's Faith backpack. It's running with firearms, skill power. Minor attributes right now is bleed resistance. I think I could have gotten enemy ammo capacity. I think might have been able to roll on this. Check us now. I guess none of those do at the moment. I'd have to check, but I know there's something more valuable in minor attributes than that. Again, skills, seeker mine damage, support station health. I really, if I ever throw on a support station, everyone's going to enjoy it as long as we don't move. But yeah, so I got plenty of that. Hunter's Faith gloves, running with firearms, marksman rifle damage. I like it. Critical hit damage could have rolled higher. Health on kill, I'm testing that at the moment. I might have really appreciated having crit hit chance instead of that, just for overall potential consistent DPS output. But I want to see if that'll help me overall run the build a little more smoothly. Skill attributes, 8.5 first aid, self-heal. It's okay. You know, sometimes when I'm running with a group, somebody else might control the pulse, I'll control the smart cover. In that instance, I'll usually throw up my first aid. That way I can keep us, you know, myself healed with an overheal, and I can shoot it at my teammates as necessary. Hunter's Faith holster. This one currently has armor. Ballistic shield damage, again, is not useful for me. But potentially I always go for the firearms, stamina, and electronics, and major and minor attributes. I don't focus right now on the skill attributes because finding the other things that are going to help me is hard enough, let alone finding everything, you know, all in one. But that's another discussion.